What is going on, everyone? Good morning. Good morning. Let's pause the music for a second. See. Forex. All right. Let's start by looking at the economic calendar. Nothing much, again, to kind of. We do have President Trump speaking today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That's something that we need to kind of keep in the back of our head. Where's my pen? And then unemployment claims on Thursday, and then flash manufacturing PMI. So let's talk about the key levels for today that I'm going to be watching out for, areas of interest. Um, if you guys want to kind of like a written plan, I'm going to start doing this, right? Starting posting the bullish and bearish plan on X, as you can see here. So the bullish plan is as long as the demand zone 7,500 to 7,505 holds, right? We're looking for long entry targeting that 7,530 to 7,535. Bearish plan is a rejection off of that 7,530 to 7,535. And what we're seeing right now is a rejection or price supporting that 7,500 to 7,505 demand, right? As you can see here, you bounced right off of that during the pre-market, and we're now retesting the supply zone at 7,530 to 7,535. So for today's session, all right. So for today's session, just mind that level. If you want to review it, look at the X post, right? And we're going to revisit that after today's session. So again, areas of interest is going to be the 7,530 to 7,535 for potential rejection. As you can see here in the last couple of days, we got rejections there. We got a peak above on Tuesday, right? Tested that value area low from previous week and rejected. And then again in the afternoon session, that 7,530 to 7,535 played out as a resistance in the overnight session. And now once we broke right below it in the pre-market, we're getting the rejection. And where are we getting that rejection again at market open? 7,530 to 7,535. So that's going to be an important level there. All right. Market is now open. So let's start prepping up here. Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone doing? All right, let's play some music here. Let me know if the music's too loud. I can put it down. We're testing this 7,530 to 7,535 again. Watching how price will react here. Pretty strong aggressive buyers, right? After breaking that 7530 to 7532, you can also see that on the heat map. As you can see, lots of aggressive buy orders coming in, and prices are reacting off of that push. So watch the 7540 here. If we can get a little bit of retracement um, into the 7527 to 7530, I would like a strong push first right now, right? Strong push into that 7540, maybe even that on the closing price at 7542 or even 7547, where we get a little bit of rejection, retracement, right? Again, looking for that 7527 to 7530. That's where I saw an initial um, aggressive buys that came through at market open, right, during RTH. NASDAQ here, keep an eye on this 29,167 to 29,200, right? That's where we kind of got that, battle whenever price gets there. As you can see here on Monday and then Tuesday pre-market, and then during today's pre-market, right? You got those rejections there. Oops, you guys can't see it. Sorry. My bad. Rejections here, and now during pre-market, you're getting that rejection. So 29,200, the bottom of that's 29,170. If you're a NASDAQ trader, that's where you want price to either, if you're bearish, you want to reject there, or if you're bullish, you want to reclaim that 29,200 for more continuation to the upside. So right now, like I said, during the or when what I posted on X, right, the bullish scenario has now played out already. You got the bounce off of the demand zone at 7,500 to 7,505. You're pushing right up into this supply, and what's happening? If you are bullish, which I am kind of currently, I'm looking for price acceptance inside the supply zone, meaning I want price to kind of just either consolidate here, right? Or we get a little bit of a push up where it rechases and support it to play the continuation. Next bearish level for NASDAQ is literally, yeah, it's right here, 29,170 to 29,200. Above that, I don't have anything until the 29,245 to 29,260. And why that is an important level, as you can see from yesterday's price action, right? That was kind of like your morning high. And then you push right up. Let's make this bigger so you guys can see it perfectly, right? So you can see here this 29,260 rejections there, and then you were able to reclaim that. And what happened? You retraced and supported, right? That's also your orb high, and then you push right up. Even in the post or Globex from yesterday, right? Supported, supported, supported. So that's a kind of an inflection point as well that you need to watch out for. Morning, Pranav. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Right now, 7535 is acting as support. So that's what we want to see. I'm I'm probably going to be aggressive on the longs today if we break above this value area low from last week, right? This is last week's value area low. If we can reclaim that 7554 to 7560, um, probably going to be aggressively looking for longs, targeting. I don't really, my next level is pretty high, right? I don't have anything until 7580 to 7600. And then my next supply is right around that 7613 to 7630, which is your monthly supply. So put an alert there if you want to, but that's where I'll look to aggressively enter longs. The question is, are we going to have a continuation there? Right? That's one thing that we need that's unknown right now. And that's where the order flow is going to help us kind of like pinpoint, aggressive orders at that level. We might get a push here, guys. Look at the heat map. Sellers are attempting right here at that 7532. They're attempting to play the short here. They're attempting to push price slower. And what's happening right now? We're being supported right at that 7532. We might get a push up here into that 7540. If you're looking to scalp, your target will be 7540. Your stop will probably be below 7530. Your VWAP is right at that 7527. Right now, I'm just currently watching, looking for more confirmation, but that's a good scalp setup there. Right, and then as you can see here, more sellers are coming in at 7536. Let's see how that reacts. Pay attention to the delta profile here. If this starts to build up, right? If the number keeps coming up, going up and up and up, and price cannot break 7530, right? If it cannot break 7532 to 7530, we might see a little bit of a pump here, right? That's classic seller's absorption. And as you can see right now, you're getting that pump. If you break high day, 7540 to 7532 will be your target. It's 9:41. We have about 4 minutes left until the orb forms. So I'm gonna wait on that orb. And that's the 15-minute orb to form. We have about 21 people watching here. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys haven't done so already, please smash that like button and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Morning, Rashawn. Good morning, AC. Your motivated keeps getting stuck. There was an update 2 days ago. I don't know if you did that update. Now you're seeing buyers attempting here as well, right? That 7534. Look at the Delta profile as well. Buyers are trying here, while sellers are trying here as well, right below that 7532. And what's happening right now? We're kind of just consolidating within this zone. So it's kind of a battle currently. What I'd like to do is wait for an impulse move on either side, whether it's upside or downside, and let's look for that retracement to play the direction. Yeah, you should try to update. It's just minor bugs that needed to be minor bugs that they did. There's it's not any major updates. You see what's happening now, guys, right? Based on based on just pure candlestick, you're just see a consolidation. But if you really dive deep into, what's behind the scene, you look at the order, you look at the bid and ask, you look at the delta profile, what's happening, right? And you're able to see that, or the heat map. Sellers trying at the 7532, failing. Now you're getting that push up, aggressive buys at 7538. Keep an eye on that 7540. NASDAQ approaching that 29,200. Keep an eye on that. Anyone took that long off of that seller's absorption at the low, 7532? It's 90 for now. Now it's 945. Now I'll look for plays here. Um, Again, 7540 is going to be important here. I'd like to see a strong push, possibly into that 7542 and even to that overnight high at 7547. And I'd like to see some rejections there, right? 7547 to 7550. I'd like to see some strong rejection, and then we'll play for that retracement. Now that sellers here are in pay, the 7532, we wouldn't want that level to get retested, right? So I'll look for entries right around this 7534, 7536. That's where the aggressive buyers came in. So, and then we'll put a stop loss right below 7532 or 7530. I think the 7530 will be a good stop loss there. Was placing stop by mistake when breaking it. It happens. It happens. This is why I say, like, doing, like, learning order flow in real time is I think you get a lot out of it, just for the fact that you're able to see what's happening, right, in real time and seeing how the reaction is, because it's kind of hard to do that when you're watching a replay. In this example, right, we saw those absorption happening at 7532, and we also saw those aggressive buys that was coming in at 7534, 7535, and we're seeing the reaction in real time. If you guys are watching this stream, make sure you guys are getting something out of it and not just watching and waiting for, for me to enter a trade. Understand what I'm doing, what I'm looking at, what confirmation I'm looking for, what does absorption looks like. Like I'm pointing it out in real time there. So make sure you guys are getting something out of it and not just sitting there on your butt and just, waiting for my entry. What's going on, Nathan? Now what are we seeing here? We're seeing more aggressive buyers coming in. Let's look at the Heatmap here. More aggressive buys coming in, more aggressive buys coming in. Aggressive buyer coming in here around that 7540, right? And we're kind of stalling here, which is fine, but we're still above that 7532. Remember, the sellers at 7532, we're still right above it. So we're still bullish here. The volume profile is messed up, always messed up. What do you mean? So which one are you using? Are you using the indicate the study? Oops, sorry. Are you using the volume profile study, or are you using the indicator study? Use the indicator and just plot it manually for the session. That's better. This here is the indicator. If you're using the study, you gotta make sure that it's at regular trading hours, right? It updates when the market opens. It doesn't update um, overnight since you're clicking the RTH session. Yeah. If it's working for me, again, I'm very, very picky with what platform I'm using. If I'm using the Motivewave, that means it's working. So just let me know if you guys are having trouble with Motivewave. Again, I'm not in no way affiliated with them. I just love the platform. Yes, sir. All right, we're seeing some rejections here. Sellers are kind of stepping in. All right, so in footprint, you can see here, buyers, right, aggressive buys, getting a little bit of rejection there. Again, 7532 is going to be my area of interest there. Pullbacks into this level is welcome. 7532 to 7528. A bearish price action here, or a bearish. If I want to flip my bearish bias here, I think I need to see break below 7530. If we break below 7530 with aggression, and then we see some retracement there, I'll look to play that to the downside. But for now, I'm going to remain bullish bias given the fact that A, right, or 1, we bounce off of the demand zone that we talked about. B, we're reclaiming that 7530 to 7535. And C, what's happening? We're finding acceptance. We're consolidating here. If you're going to play the short, right, try to just scalp it. Lost your lucid yesterday. I actually, yeah, an update. I also blew my evals, the 25Ks. eval yesterday. I haven't traded my pros, my funded accounts, the two pros that I have. That's been in the sideline, but I blew my 25K as well yesterday. I tried to get out of the, I tried trading and trying to get out of the red. I mean, I knew what was going to happen, so I blew that. So I bought some Lucid 50Ks, Flex. I have 3 of those right now. Yeah, I did. I did 2 days ago, but I haven't traded that. I still have them. I'm trying to get to. I haven't even traded my Tradify either. I have 5 funded Tradify Select. I haven't traded those as well. I'm waiting until I get five funded past for Lucid, and then I'll trade. I'll copy trade all 5 of them, all 10 of them actually. $600 lots right at that 7540. Let's see how it reacts. Again, for those of you guys that can't join the stream, or you guys want to have, you want to plan ahead, right? You want to plan ahead on your plan and see the levels written. Just I'm gonna start doing this. So if you go on my Twitter or X, I'm gonna start doing a game plan each day, an hour before the market opens. I'll put the bullish plan and the bearish plan, and list out the levels that I have here. Right, and as you can see, the bullish plan, the 7,500 to 7,505 is actually playing out right now. So make sure you guys check that out. So that's one thing that we can kind of add um, into our trading plan. So we have the trading plan, and then we have the post trading, right? What happened? What did we follow our levels? Did we execute in between zones? Whatever the case may be. And make sure you guys are journaling as well. You want to short? Be careful, Xenos. If you're looking to short, um, right, if you're looking to short, I think, I mean, I don't know if you were here this morning. The 7532 sellers are now in pain. I think if we start breaking below 7530 with aggression, I think that's where we can look for short. Or, right, or let's look for a short maybe here at the 7550 to 7556. This is your previous week's value arrow low, and that's also where we kind of got some rejection there, right? And this is not just yesterday's price action. This is Monday as well. You touched that value area low from last week and rejected, right? So if you're looking to short, I think a high probability would come at that value area low level. So be careful in trying to short in between now. You're in between levels now, right? X, yeah, X is a perfect way, but I think like having data. So whether it's the free version, there's Excel and there's other free journal version. So you can kind of see what your status, right? Like what's your win percentage and all that. Your R&R on each trade, so you can kind of understand what you need to tweak. Trust me, it's I know it's a lot of work, but it's gonna help you in the long run. NASDAQ approaching the next supply there. Yeah, Prath, do it for 3 months. like literally every day, just journaling all your trades. You don't have to journal your thought process or pre-market plan. Just start with journaling all your entries and exits. And then look at your stats. That's going to help you tremendously. Match trap sellers at 7532. Does this help? I'm going to put kind of like a comment there on what we're seeing. We have about 32 people here watching. Appreciate you guys joining in. If you haven't done so already, make sure you guys smash that like button. Smash it. Let's get to 20 likes. We're now testing the overnight high at 7547. I would like to see some type of rejection here. It may become retest this these buyers here at 7540. And that's also your orb high, right here. Limit sells at 7550. That's about 140 lots currently showing up there. You can see here. And then we have some at 7557 and 7560. So those are your liquidity zones. And then right below, we have a liquidity at 7532. That 7550 just got filled. So that got filled, and guess what's happening? They're reoffering at 7550. Let's see how this reacts. This is kind of bearish, right? This is a bearish price action, but it's a little early. You got, you filled that 75. That means there's a passive seller that's continuing to put a wall there, right? At that 7550. Watch it again, how that gets filled. Another 175 gets filled. Now you would want, if you're a bull, you would want a continuation to the upside here. You wouldn't want this to get rejected here. Seller coming in. It's a battle there at 7550. Watching it here, guys. Keeping an eye. I might try to scalp here, targeting the 7540 to 7542 for a short. Watching the 7550. We're starting to see some sellers coming in. If I take the trade, my stop loss would be high day. I'm gonna keep it tight. Here's the heat map visual so you guys understand what I'm looking at, right? Remember that 7550 that got filled? Orders got filled, they rebid, filled, and then there's an aggressive seller here that came in. Aggressive buys, getting rejected. We're getting a little bit of a push now right above it. I'm still interested, right, at that 7550. And then guess what? 7545, there's a large buy limit there sitting. 500 lots. 567 lots. And then another seller that's stepping in here at 7550. So it's a battle here at 7550. That limit buy there at 7545 is still there sitting. I'll let you guys know if they if they spoof it or not. Just watching for now. What's everyone thinking? What are you guys looking for right now? Are you guys still looking for a long? Are you guys looking for a scalp short? Sellers got run over or they're not getting rewarded. Wanted to scalp short. I'm looking not to get into early for my short. Scalp short for continuation long. Yep, same. Same. Yeah, for me to be able to jump into this long, we need a pullback. For me at least. And then this absorption here at the 7532 happened before 9:45, so I couldn't really enter. That's just my rule. But the theme lately has been price, kind of rallies and then consolidate, towards like the afternoon session, which is kind of that's how I got chopped yesterday. Trying to scalp my way through the red. Yes, DK, that's what I use. I use the 15-minute orb and the IB initial balance. So the initial balance forms at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, so an hour after market opens. 7554. Low volume node from where? From yesterday's price action? Could be. But this value area low is from previous weeks. Current profile, yeah, 7547 is yes, it is a value area low, and then that's also the overnight high around that 7547. You're correct. This could be a look above and fail, guys, right? You get a lot of transaction here at 7550. You push right up, and then now you're trading right below that 7550. This might be a look above and fail. That 500 lot that's sitting at 545, 7545 is still sitting there. Limit buy. Maybe he wants to grab that to push higher. We'll see. Hey, Dime. Good morning. So look above fail is just a failed auction, right? So that means it's at your area of interest, maybe like a previous resistance zone or previous demand. In this example, a look above and fail is like you have a area of resistance. So this is an area of resistance, right? The value area low, which was rejecting the last couple days. So a look above and fail type of scenario is like you push right up above that resistance zone, right? Where, you know, buyers or bulls might think, or traders might think there's a breakout, and then you immediately fail right below it, and you trade right below that zone, that resistance zone in this case, right? That's just basically it. But this is only on fixed name. Can I say look below and fail? Yeah, you can also say look below, look below. So look above and fail is bearish. Look below and fail is bullish, right? They removed that order at 7545. It's not only on the fixed name. I mean, you can use this on any instrument if that's what you're asking. Keep an eye here on the 7550. This is probably going to be my scalp. Watch for this 7550. If it starts to act as a resistance there, I might take a stab at a short. Again, it's going to be a scalp short into the 7540 to 7542. Seven five fifty currently getting tested, and we're getting a little bit of rejection. What's the retracement here? 7540 on the 50 fib. Would this be considered as a low volume node? Yes. Right, that's 7540 to 7544 to 7546. That can be considered as a low volume node. Just for those guys that are wondering. So 7550 currently getting rejected, but the thing is, we're going against the trend, right? I want to see some aggression here before entering. You can also see here 7550 getting rejected, right? Aggressive buys getting rejected. That is also a confirmation. Again, I'm just looking to scalp if I play this, if I take this short. I think I'm not going to give it a, like my stop loss is probably going to be above 7552 or even this buy order there at, where is that? 755250. Wow, we have about 42 people watching here right now. Appreciate you guys joining in. If you haven't done so already, please smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. So 7550 getting rejected here, and look at the heat map, right? You're seeing these passive sell bid, sell offers, sell offers, sell offers at that level. If you're looking to play short, that you've got multiple confirmation there now, right? You're just looking for a quick scalp into this 7542 to 7540. I actually took this short in my personal, which you guys can see because I'm in Motivewave. I'm getting a glitch here. Why is it doing that? Thanks, July. Appreciate it. Yeah, I hope you guys are seeing something. Like whenever I talk about something, just ask questions, right? Again, I was kind of walking you through this short trade at that 7550 rejection, right? I talked about if you see at the footprint, right, aggressive buys trying to attempt there and got rejected. Don't be shy to ask questions. You're in shorts at 7548. Good stuff. Again, watch this close at 7542. I'm not seeing anything right there currently, but you're really looking for that 7540 target. And mind you this, if 7540 breaks, look for continuation into 7534 to 7530. Just a reminder that this is where the trap sellers were earlier. That's why you got that impulse move to the upside. Talk to you guys about this earlier this morning. Aggressive sellers are stepping in. Look at the heat map, right? Sellers are stepping in here. Look at this red bubbles. Seven five 7539 is your orb high. That's your 15-minute orb high. NASDAQ is also approaching 29,200. That's a support level there. And you're currently bouncing right here on the NASDAQ. That 75,200 that we talked about, you're currently getting a bounce there. If we're bearish, we're looking for a trade below that 29,180 to 29,200 for more downside on the NASDAQ. I'm going to be using NASDAQ as my confirmation here on the ES trade. Am I trading my position? I have my stop here at 7543, 7544. I already trimmed. I was kind of happy. I already trimmed. So I grabbed 15 micros. I already trimmed 10. I'm only holding 5. I'm looking for that 7540 kind of push down. That's my personal, Nathan. That's I have a bigger account on my personal. And remember, it's not about how many contracts you're grabbing. It's about the risk that you have, that you're willing to lose. Remember, I was looking at the 7550, right? And what was my stop loss? 7552, 7553. That's a 2 3 point stop. 10 15 micros, that's about less than 500 risk, right? Don't think about how big, how large the position is. Think about the risk first, right? What are you willing to risk? Are you willing to risk 300, 400, $500, and then you position side based on that risk? See, this is why I don't like I don't like talking about numbers, because I don't want you guys to to FOMO in. Just focus on the process. Focus on the chart. Focus on you know the levels. Here's 7540. If you guys are in this short, this is where price may bounce, as you can see at this. This is multiple confluences on this level. That's your orb high. That's your big trades there, right? About 600 lots and then 250 lots right below that. So this area is an important area for you know where it might bounce. We're getting some aggressive sellers there stepping in. They might, I don't know, they might get absorbed there. Look at the heat map here, right? Aggressive sellers at 740, and what's happening right now, right? You're finding somewhat of a support. So make sure you're either, for me, my stop loss is at 7544. If that gets hit, I'm out, which is about to get hit. If you're in this short, you would move your stop loss at 75. Oops, what just happened? Why did it do that? Yeah, if you're, again, if you're in this short, you're 7 I would move my stop loss to 7544. And you're looking for that 7540 break. Stopped out there. I'm out. So do you see how the levels play out and what the levels we're talking about? And it's not just bogus, right? It's not just we're just calling out numbers. You got to have a reason and why that's your target. In this example, like I said, I walk you through why that 7540 is important. I walk you through why this 7550 is important, right? I walk you through before even the session started, right? How this value area low from previous week is important. So just play it levels by levels. I can do that. Oops. I can plot the view up for you guys. I usually have this an extended session, but you can also use regular session. That's where you're kind of finding that balance. Now aggressive buyers are coming in here at 7547 at the overnight high. I'm getting a little bit of rejection there as well. One question: when the buyers put in a bid at 753, is it a bullish sign? Um, it depends on the context. In this case, it is somewhat, like it's not a bullish sign, but it's like an attempt that the bulls are stepping in. A bullish confirmation or a bullish sign would be price moving up from that absorption, or for those orders getting filled. You want to see a move away from that zone. You want to see a retracement where that gets defended. That's a bullish sign. You don't want to enter just because you're seeing that, right? You want to see confirmation. Aggressive sellers are stepping in here at 7538, 7539 from that absorption at that 7546. That was kind of fast. That happened real fast off of that man. Anyone catch that? Sheesh. That was beautiful. All right, here's the plan, guys, for the next short opportunity here, okay? If this 7534, 7530, this is where trap sellers were in, right? If this breaks, I'm looking for a retracement into that zone where, I want to see sellers stepping in and defending that price, right? And I'll look to play the short side, targeting possibly 7512, right? That's where pre-market kind of bounced, right? Overnight session. I'll target that. And then with a final target at 7500 to 7504. If we bounce here at the 7530 to 7534, I am looking for a reclaim above 7540, and I'll look to play that long there. Yeah, it was very clean on Heatmap. Here we go again. Look at the Heatmap here. Aggressive buys. So there's two things that's happening right now that we can take into account. Aggressive buys, right? You're pushing up, and then aggressive buyer come in, and what happens? Rejected. Aggressive buyer, right? Price push up, aggressive buyer, slaps. Getting slapped, right? So that's kind of your bearish price action right now. Also got to understand where this seller is stemming in. Where did this start? Based on order flow. It started at 7550, right? Started at 7550. That's where you started seeing that confirmation there for a short. Here's a 7534. Keep an eye on this. The 7532. See how price react here. Our buyer is going to continue to defend this level. Aggressive sell order just got filled. You can also see that on footprint. Keeping an eye on it. About 2 minutes left until the initial balance is formed. Oh yeah, that's crazy. We have about 46 people watching here. Wow. Welcome, guys. Yeah, I think our peak was 48 or 49 viewers. Everyone, share the stream. Tell your friends, tell your families to join in. All right. Keep a close watch here, guys. Keep a close watch. Pay attention here. We're getting these absorptions here at the lows, right? Sellers are really trying here, right? Followed by some buyers trying to buy right above it, the 7535. We'll continue to watch this. I think really our confirmation would be a break above 7540. But I might take a stab here. I'm waiting for confirmation here. He gets on in here, planets and suns are aligned too. Pablo, what's going on? 7538. Sorry, let's focus up real quick. 7538. There's a passive sell limit there sitting. Keep an eye there. Yeah, I just started streaming again, Pablo, I think in June, late June. So you haven't missed much, but welcome. Paying very close attention here, guys. This is an area of interest for us. If we hold, we'll look to play long. If we break below 7530, we might look for a retracement to play this short. NASDAQ is still looking strong. You're right above that 29,200, right? We talked about that 29,200. We're continuing to get supported there at that level. Let's put on a 2-minute here. Where's my... Give me 1 second, guys. Watching how this gets filled. 7538, 475 lots. Aggressive buys there that just came in at 7537 market order. Let's watch this 753 and how that reacts. Got filled about 458 lots. I like this. I like this. 1,000 lots sitting at 7544. That's huge, guys. Passive sell limit sitting at 7544, 1,000 lots. Sheesh. I haven't seen that in a while. Still watching. Buyers attempted there, right? About 458 lots and got rejected. Still the same theme. Aggressive buys, rejection. Aggressive buys, rejection. Aggressive buys. Are we going to get that rejected to take out that 7534? I think unless that changes, right? Where unless this theme changes, I think we're looking for shorts here. Every time we get those aggressive buys, we're getting rejected. Right? We were able to identify that. I mean, this is the beauty of order flow. I mean, you're able to see how orders are being transacted, and now how orders, how the price is reacting, right, based on those orders. This is why I love. I mean, I love order flow trading. Like, just if you remove the bubbles, if you're not looking at the heat map, if you look at the candlestick formation, are you able to identify that or find a valid reasoning why we're getting rejected there, right? I mean, sure, yeah, you can say, that's your orb high, right? Oh, that's your your overnight high. That's considered, yes. That's the definition of absorption. When there's an aggressive buyer push and price could not break the previous session's high or the previous pivot high and you get rejected, that's called absorption. That means that aggressive buys are met by passive sellers. But look at Nasdaq compared to ES. Right, you're still trying to move higher here. Candlestick Guru, you can look it up online. There's another 500 lots there, 7539. Limit sell. 500 lots, 1,000 lots at 7544. Again, don't put a lot of emphasis on those orders. Remember, they might remove it, right? They might spoof it and just remove that order. Just letting you guys know where the liquidity are coming in. One thing to note again, guys, is look at the delta profile. Aggressive sellers here at the lows, and what's happening? What's price doing? You're being supported. What happened here in the morning session where we saw those trap sellers, right? Same thing. Large negative delta coming in, which is aggressive sellers coming in, and they could not push price lower. Which heat map are you using, Nathan? Are you using a Motivewave? You should be able to see it. Are you using Rhythmic? That's weird. Can you send me a screenshot of that? I don't know where you follow me, but can you send a screenshot? I want to see. No, I don't pay level. So I have it on my personal, but not with this one. It's Lucid, right? 50K right here. You can see. It's a 50K account. So I'm getting the data from Lucid. Wherever you want to send it, whether if you have my information on Discord or X. I'm eyeing along here, guys. I'm eyeing along here as long as 7530 holds. Hey Leo, yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. I don't think I'm gonna do it in this live stream, but give me a few weeks. I'm setting something up. Of course, of course. I mean, are you guys seeing this? Like, sellers are really attempting here. Even you can see it on the heat map, right? Let's zoom back a little here. Sellers are really attempting here. They're trying. Are they going to be able to break this lower? You can also see that on the delta profile, right? Sellers are really attempting here. As you can see, you can also see it on the footprint. Sellers are attempting there. Here's the 7530. Keep an eye on that. Testing. NASDAQ broke below 29,200. Let's see if we can sustain below 29,170. Now, there are some small aggressive buyers here. If we reclaim back above 7534, I want to see how price react there, and I might take a long there for a scalp. Again, only if we reclaim above 7534. And if I see some aggressive buyers there, I'll take that long. Looking to target 7538 to 7540. And then if we break above that, possibly, we're just playing it level by level. Closing price at 7542 and then 7547. But right now, this is looking like we want to push lower, maybe take out low day. If we take out low day and if we bounce, I'm looking for a short here at that, 7530 to 7534 where it acts as a resistance, and then we'll look to take that trade. So 7530 currently being supported here. More sellers coming in at 7530. I'm going to try this long here, guys. My stop is going to be below 7528. If 7534 rejects, I might cut it, but we need to reclaim of 7534. If we can reclaim that, I might add into this position. About 3 points here, 4 points. You can see it on my screen. There's a limit sell order there at 7539. I want to see how that gets filled. Watching this 7534, this needs to act as support here now. If it doesn't, I might get out. Again, just looking for a scalp here, guys. Supported there at 7534. Tempted to add. I'd like to see a push here, like now. I'm gonna add here, guys. I'm in 6 cons now, micros. Again, looking for a 7539, 7540 target first. I want to see how price react there. It's a good push. Aggressive buyers are stepping in. Need to start pushing here. They spoofed that order at 7539. They removed it. But the 1,000 lots at 7544 is still sitting there. Limit sell. Again, a little bit of rejection here. 7534 needs to hold here. Continuing to hold at 7534, but you need to start pushing away from the zone. Specifically the 7538, right? We need to get above that. If we can, I think 7540 to 7544 will be in sight for a potential target. Got to push away from it. Buyers are trying. We don't want this to turn into an absorption here, right? Where, as you can see here on the delta profile, large aggressive buys stepping in, but they're not able to lift. That 7540, that 7539, 500 lots limit sell, she's back. You can see on the heat map here, right? She removed it and now she's back. Whoever that is. So that order is back there. Again, I want to see a reclaim of 7538. That could be, you know, a possible confirmation there. Come on, buyers. You got to push through here now. You got to do it. You cannot stall. Don't stall. She's struggling. Come on, we got to push through. Let's take out that 7538. I like how everyone's so focused right now. Everyone's quiet in the chat. I'm guessing you guys are in the same trade. Here we go. Watch the 7538 here. We need to push through that. We cannot get rejected. They removed that order again, that 7540, 500 lots. I don't like how we're consolidating here. I don't like how buyers are attempting and we're not moving. Right? This is kind of a sign that there's a passive seller that's continuing to smack that, smack those aggressive buys. You gotta get above that 7538. Here's another test. You gotta push through here. You cannot stall here, guys. You cannot stall here, buyers. You gotta push through. You gotta push through. We're up about 4 points here. You gotta push through. Push through, push through. More aggressive buyers here. The price is not moving. You gotta push through here. All right, I'm out for now. I'm out for now. Taking my 3 points there. Because that's your rejection area, right? We came up here, rejected, just couldn't get through. So I think we might... So this is what I see. This is why I got out. Look at this. Right? Pay attention to this so you understand, so you don't have to wait for me to say, hey, I'm going to exit out. Look. Pay attention. Aggressive buyers at that 7538. Remember, I gave you guys that level at 7538. This is a potential rejection. What happened? More aggressive buyers stepping in. And what's happening? What's price doing? Stalling, not moving up. That to me is a sign that, hey, we might get a retracement here. And that's what happened. You can see price pushed lower again. So I don't like that. So those are the type of signs you want to see, right? At key areas that we talk about. Like, for example, the 7538. If I say, hey, we need to push through 7538. If price stalls, that's your indication that, hey, we might get a pullback here. $7534 continues to act as support, but now I don't know. I just don't like how we're building a lot of buys here, positive delta, and yet we're not able to move up. Yeah, yep, right here. That's right, and you can also see that on a footprint, right? Delta buy right there, and you can see price rejections. So now what I'm thinking, guys, all right, so now what I'm thinking is, now we got that sweep off of that trap seller in the morning session. You bounced right up. 7534 is being supported. You got some aggressive buys here at 7536. What I'm looking for now is an aggressive push to the upside away from 7536 to 7538. And then let's look for that retracement where it's supported on the retest, and let's play that upside, okay? That's going to be our next trade. If we can push away from 7536 to 7538, away from that zone, let's look for a retracement to play that continuation to the upside. And we'll look to target 7550 and then 7554, all right? Giving you guys a heads up. I don't want you guys to kind of just get in because I'm in a trade. Let's form a trade idea here. And then if you see a confirmation, you feel free to join in. But again, not financial advice. By the way, As we were in the trade, we peaked at 52 viewers. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, I've never done giveaways. I've never done advertisement for my channel on X or YouTube. I've never boosted my channel. I've never done any of that. Everything is organic. I've just posted. I just started posting back in April or May, and you guys started following. You guys loved it, and you guys wanted me to do a stream, and now I'm doing the stream, and you guys are just joining in, just based pure of, I guess, because you like my trades. You like how I trade and stuff. So I really appreciate it. So you can see now here on the heat map, right? Look what happened after we broke that 7538. Aggressive buyers are stepping in here now. But again, I think we need to see more lift, right? We need to see more push away from this zone. The 1K lot is not there anymore. They lifted it. Appreciate it, Rashawn. D-May, what do you use for footprint chart on the right? It's for confirmation. To again, I kind of mentioned it right multiple times. It's just a different view of how to identify those aggressive buyers and aggressive sellers. Being pinpointing, absorption and all that. So you can see this in a different view. In this case, it's by price, right? Delta by price. This is what we want to see, guys. This is what we want to see. You push right up, right? Now let's see if we can get a retracement. 7536, 7538 will be my entry here for a potential long. Our stop loss is going to be below 7534. All right? Our stop loss is going to be below 7534. You guys know why. Price has been supporting every time we moved. We got above that. All right, so wherever you're entering, whether you enter here at 7536, 7538, or even at 7540 or 7542, just understand that trade is valid as long as you hold above 7534. So try to adjust your position based on your risk. $618 lots at 7548. There's also 500 lots at 7559. Of course, Devon. Appreciate you guys following. Can we get a pullback here? I would really like a sharp pullback, even at 7540. right? An aggressive entry would be right at this 7540. If we can get a little bit of a pullback, aggressive pullback actually, right? We push down. That's going to be my entry there for a long. So the question is now, when we long that 7534 area, did we exit out early after getting rejected there at 7538? What do you guys think? Do you think we should have held since, the 7534 did not break earlier? Should we just have held and look for that final target at 7542, 7545 area? What's everyone's take? For me, my take is uh given how the price action's been the last couple of days, the last 2 days, um, I think it was right for me to just get out, right? Remember yesterday, all three trades were up about 5 to 7 points, and then it retraced back on me and took a loss instead of just taking the green or taking break even. So I took that lesson and I'm applying it today. So I think protecting that is smart and just looking for a re-entry. Stick to my plan. We could have held, yeah, but I stuck to my plan. That's right. Look at the heat map, guys. Look at the flow. What's happening now? Something changed, guys. Something changed. What changed? Can anyone see? Buyers are in control now. No sign of sellers coming in. All buys here. All aggressive buys. Green bubbles, blue bubbles. Remember, whenever we get a big trade, what happens? We get rejected. What's happening now? What changed? Getting a pullback after a big trade and you're pushing right up. That's one key information that you can take after this move up here. Maybe buyers now are in control, right? Now we're looking for a pullback here. Another key indication for me. So this is how I use the NASDAQ, right? I don't trade NASDAQ, but I use it as my confluence. What did I say about how it was looking strong and how I'll look for a potential long here? We held this zone, right? We wanted to be bearish if we broke below 29,170. We did not break. We literally bounced off of that level and pushed right up. So this was another indication why I longed at the lows here on ES. So next time, if you guys are looking to play, the upside or downside, maybe use the NASDAQ, right, as your confluence. Mark those areas of interest. If we remove all the noise, the initial plan of long and 753 trap buyers worked. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, in hindsight, right? In hindsight, we did identify those trap sellers here in the morning. In hindsight, it did bounce. In hindsight, we did move up. Very good question, Nathan. Let's go look back. I don't know if we're able to see that. Yep, here. So check my screen right now. Pay attention, everyone. Pay attention. Mentioned the 7530 when we revisited it, right? Sellers came in. Push right down. Sellers. Sellers. And this was the key thing that made me press the button. Right here. This was my first confirmation. You push right up. And then remember that 7532? That's another indication. You got it right above it. And you push right up. Those are the two confirmations that I took for me to initiate a trade. So now look back to where I initiated the trade, right? Look back maybe 5 minutes before that and see, how I pointed out, that 7532 to 7530. or 7530 to 7534 area. Did that make sense, Nathan? Can we get a pullback here, please? Watch the 7550. This is where we got those. Remember, right? The 7550 here. There's another large order there at 7550. 246 lots. I would love to see a rejection here, right? A strong rejection. Maybe we get a retrace off of this 7540, right? 7542. Understanding that the buyers here at 75. It has happened, Pratham. It's happened more often than recently, or than before. Sorry, than before. I have noticed that 755 lots at 7555, 568 lots at 7559. So we're getting a lot of liquidity above, and then a really big one, 1,000 lots at 7569. All right, guys, I'm gonna wait here for another maybe 15 minutes. Hopefully we get this long setup here. Seeing this move now, I'm kind of FOMOing in after stopping out there of the initial long. Not gonna lie, starting to feel it. Starting to feel the FOMO. It's Motivewave, ZTK. Alexa, stop. A 1,000 lots sitting at 7,555. 400 lots, 7,556. A lot of liquidity above here, guys. 7,559, 618 lots. Very strong buyers today. Jeez. After this pullback, just buyers were just relentless on this push up. No sellers in sight or aggressive sellers in sight. Price is stalling here. How do we read? Um, Nothing yet. I'm not really seeing anything. So if you wanna this on the delta profile or the footprint or the heat map, right? Need to see some red bubbles, aggressive sellers coming in, and prices reacting. Currently, 7,550 got some sellers there, push down. Some sellers here, 7,449. If we start to push down here a little bit, I want to see a little bit of retracement, right? And then a kind of an aggressive reaction from there. The thing is, we're going against the trend, right? What's the short target? Look for scalps. 7,542, 7,543. Would love again. Before I leave here, this is the setup that you're looking for, right? You're looking for a long inside the 7,536 to 7,538. Give it a little room, maybe even capture that 7,540 area, right? Actually, I'm gonna do that. So 7536 to 7540, that's where I'll look for a potential long. I can't really tell right now if price is getting accepted or absorbed. We're kind of just consolidating here. Quick question, guys. Does the commentary helps or is it too much? Am I talking too much? I try not to talk a lot when we're in the trade. Right? I try to focus on the trade, but during when we're just seeing things, when we're just analyzing the market, I'm just I don't notice it sometimes or most of the times that I'm just talking out loud. So okay, good. Good thing no one thinks I'm annoying. Comment more if you can. Awesome. Good to know, D-Man. Just aggressive buyers, guy. They're just man, after this push up here, it's just relentless. Just relentless of just aggressive buyers here. The thing is, D-May, it is confusing if you're feeling overwhelmed, meaning like if you're trying to learn everything at the same time. It's easy. It's easy. It's an easy concept to learn, but it's hard to kind of apply in your training. It's there's going to be a gap there. But learning it, I think the concept is easy. You just got to take it piece by piece. And again, like I said, the better way to learn and speed up the process of learning is through doing it live. Just seeing orders, right? Just watching the orders come in and seeing how price react. That's what you like that can tremendously, speed up your learning curve. We're annoying if anything asking all these questions. No, no, I understand, man. I was there before. It's just that I had to pay for it. I had to pay to ask questions. Let's not forget about Nasdaq. Let's keep an eye on Nasdaq here. It's been leading. You're kind of creating a low volume node here. This is a valid low volume node, guys. If you guys are Nasdaq traders, keep an eye here. That's also multiple confluences. That's also your morning session high right here at 10 o'clock mark. You see this low volume node here, right? Your closing price from yesterday is also at 29,289. So keep an eye on this one. If this starts to act as a support on pullbacks, right? You're looking for a continuation to the upside. Maybe target high a day, overnight high at 29,337 or prior high at 29,364. Right? So your low volume node there is 29,280 to 29,290. That's a pretty tight LVN. So that's good. You can either trade this, look for a trade there, or use it as a confluence on your ES trade. All right, I'm gonna head out here soon. Any other questions before I head out? Again, I've already scheduled tomorrow's session and Friday's session. Gonna be the same time. The only trade that I'm looking at for today is going to be right this this zone here. I'm looking for a potential long. Hopefully we get it. If not, be careful in trying to short. Let me just zoom out here. Listen, listen, guys. Listen, 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 listen. We are trading at the value area low from last week, and every time we visit this area, we get some rejection. But okay, there's a but here. Don't try to time the short. Don't try to time the short and take the short here just because we're revisiting the area. Look for confirmation. In my early years, I used to do that. I saw a resistance level where it touched multiple times, and I anticipated that we got that rejection. Try not to do that. That's why you're learning order flow, right? Look for confirmation. Look for absorptions, right? Look for trap participants to play that, and your confirmation would be a move away from this zone and go for that retracement instead of being the first seller at that level. All right. I walked you through on how I shorted this value area low. What did we do? We saw those 7,550, right? Like there was a lot of transaction there, sellers coming in, right? I didn't initiate the short right away. I said, let's wait for a confirmation here and move on either direction, whether it's downside or upside. What did we get? We got an upside move. We pulled back and right, I walked you through how I entered that 7,550 right there, right? We got a retest, took the entry there. Same thing. Do the same thing, same process that we're doing here on a day-to-day basis, right? Look for those big orders, look for a move away from that zone, and maybe follow that, follow that move on that retracement. All right. As always, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you all. But that's it for me. I'll be back here tomorrow morning at 9:30 same time. Make sure you guys follow me on X, right? I'm gonna be posting a lot more on, not a lot more, but I'm gonna be posting these pre-market plans. So I hope you guys, or make sure you guys review that before joining the stream so you guys know the plan. All right, have a good one, guys. Peace.